Hey, this is Coach Lee Hopkins here. I just want to let you know that you're awesome and your feelings matter. I know the holidays are fast approaching, and if you're going home to a family to be surrounded by people who don't believe that your feelings matter, and you constantly get caught up in the fighting and the frustrations, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, the obligations that you have with family, I want to empower you to break those generational patterns of disdain and distrust. On October 9th, for 4 weeks, I will be releasing content from my masterclass, Friends with Family. This content from Friends with Family is going to help you develop skills to be more grounded in yourself so that you can actually connect with your family. By the end of the 4 weeks, you're going to learn to create more connecting and curious conversations. You'll also learn how to navigate high drama topics without getting drawn into a conflict. Now, this course is not going to fix deep-seated problems that you might have with your family members, and it won't heal any traumas that you've experienced. It's going to help you communicate more authentically to empower you to have regular conversations and actually connect with your family. Each week, I'm going to release a video for you to watch on demand as you want, and then I will be answering questions on a live Q&A on the coming Friday. If this interests you, it's absolutely free to join, absolutely free to follow along. There's no obligation. It's my sincere hope that more of us out there who are breaking those generational patterns to not just stop the pain from moving forward, but to really become friends with our family. If you want to be a part of this, we start October 9th. Check the link in the show notes. Hey, what's going on? My name's Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about who you are and what kind of people you attract. The very first step to finding your tribe is understanding who you are and how you show up in the world. And if you don't know, if you're having difficulty understanding who you are and how you show up, you just need to look at the people around you and who you attract. By the end of this episode, you'll be that much closer to understanding what you really want from the people closest to you. Are you ready? Let's go. I am a firm believer in the idea that we are the sum of the 5 people that are closest to us. This means that if I want to know who I am, I can simply look at the people around me and they'll reflect that right back to me. I can look at the 5 people closest to me and see myself reflected right back. And I think that's the same for you too. Who are the people around you? I love this concept mostly because my eyes are always outside of my head. They're always facing outward and I can't see me clearly. I can look around at the people in my life and I can see them clearly. I can see what they might do and how they might behave. And because I'm hanging around them, because I socialize them, because I share space with them, time, energy with them, there must be something that makes us alike. This is what this concept says. It highlights the notion that our social circles are mirrors reflecting back various aspects, different aspects of our own values, beliefs, and aspirations. So you've probably heard something like birds of a feather flock together, or something that signifies that people who are alike be with alike people. And it's not just with race or gender or anything like that that's really physically present. After we get away from the physical aspects of looking at them and they look like me, we get they act like me, or we get they like the same things as me. We get to places where we go around or be with people who do things that demonstrate that they feel the same way about that experience that they're having. So if you're around people who really are kind and affectionate and fun-loving and curious about who you are, curious about the world, then chances are you are that kind of person. Because if you think about it, people who exhibit these kinds of attributes don't hang around people who are mean and angry and hurtful because it doesn't feel good to them. And likewise with the people who are angry and mean and not good to each other, not kind to each other. They joke on each other all the time. They backbite and they backstab. They hang around people who do those things because it's comfortable and familiar. They would be annoyed at somebody being all curious about them and excited about little things. That would annoy them a lot. So they hang around people who are like them. Now, I pulled out these two extreme examples because it's easier to demonstrate, or it's easier to declare the differences between the two. And it is a bit difficult to see who you are or see how you show up for another person, or rather be experienced from another person's point of view. You really won't be able to know this unless someone is conscious enough to tell you, number one, and if you are conscious and non-reactive enough to actually listen. I've had so many experiences where I believed that I was being kind, I was being caring, I was being connecting, only to have that person tell me no. That was a shitty thing you did. This happens most often with us if we lie. If we don't tell the truth about something. We're like, we're trying to protect your feelings. No, you made it worse. I thought I was helping you. I thought I was being kind. I thought I was being caring. I thought I was being considerate by not telling you that this painful thing happened. Protecting you from it. To find out that that doesn't feel good to them. They weren't experiencing me the way I wanted them to experience me. It's hard for us to hear that reflected back at us. It's hard. But people are experiencing us all the time. And if you have difficulty hearing how somebody might be experiencing you, consider that your friends, the people around you, treat you similarly or will invoke similar feelings in you that you invoke in them. What I mean to say is that if you feel uncomfortable sharing something with your friends, a joyful thing, a scary thing, a sad thing, if you feel uncomfortable sharing that with your friends, there's a chance that you also make them feel uncomfortable when it comes time to talk about things like that. All I'm saying is to look for it. The feeling that you have around them, that they generate in you, is a feeling that you may give to other people. So how do you show up? How do you show up for other people? Do you reach out to them when you're bored and you don't know what else to do? And then maybe complain that people only reach out to you when they're bored? Take a look at that. If you only reach out to people when you need something and they reach out to you when they need something, take a look at that. How are you being in the presence of other people? If you're not sure, look at how people are treating you. If people are treating you in a way that you don't believe you deserve, then what are you doing there? What are you doing connecting with those people? Do you believe that you deserve that? Are you that kind of person? If you're not, then what stops you from making the change? What stops you from moving away from those people who just want to talk shit about you? Who just want to rain on your parade? Who just want to see you be sad? Even if you say, hey, these people aren't like me, I'm not like them, you're still hanging around them. And the feeling that they give to you is stifledness, is frustration, is rejection. They give that to you. If you hang around people like that, I'm telling you that it's likely you're doing the same to other people. You're living in that rejection. You do it to other people. This shows up for me so much. That's why people say karma, karma, karma. Give, 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 and you will get. You notice the feeling of joy that you give to others, and you'll get it right back. But many of us haven't been trained or even think about noticing the other feelings of rejection, of sadness, of fear, and how we do it to other people. Sneaky like. People do it to us. We live in it. We feel it all the time, and we just can't help but to reflect it back out to other people. Those 5 people that you hang out with, who are they? What do they do? Are they inspiring? Are they challenging? Are they angering? Are they annoying? What's special about them? What attracts you to them? Are you there just because? That's a flag. That's something to pay attention to. You said, I don't know why I like them. I don't know why I hang out with them, or just because, or we've known each other for such a long time. Pause. You really need to examine. I want to ask you, what kind of people do you think you attract? There's no right or wrong answer. There's just knowledge to be gained about yourself. I'll be right back with the Answer Reddit question. Are you tired of being around people who just don't get you? Have you been putting yourself out there but not able to find anybody that matches your vibe? You're not alone. Making friends, especially as an adult, is hard. My name's Coach Lee. I'm a social connections coach, and I want to help you find your tribe. I have a 3-step coaching program for groups and individuals that's designed to help you get to the right place, to meet the right people, to have the right kind of conversations that leave you feeling fulfilled, appreciated, and understood. After going through the Find Your Tribe coaching program, you'll discover who it is that you really want to be connected to, how to find those people, and what you need to talk about so that your relationship moves from an acquaintanceship to a close friendship. And with this program, you won't be on this journey alone. You'll have access to a private community in which there are others who are just as intentional about making the kind of connections you are. You'll also have access to live events like weekly Q&As, speed friending, and much more. You'll be able to practice your skills in a safe environment and feel confident to connect authentically when you get out into the real world. If you're ready to get started on making meaningful connections and lasting relationships, then apply to the coaching program by using the link in the show notes. All right, now it's time for the Reddit friendship advice question. If you have a friendship advice question that you think I should answer, tag me in it on Reddit. My handle is Brilliant and Resilient. That's Brilliant, the letter N, Resilient. Why do I always attract selfish friends? I'm feeling so shitty right now. My cat has been severely ill all week, and I lost a friend today. I always really struggle to make friends, and in rare cases that I do, they always turn out to be incredibly selfish and need to have everything on their terms. And I know that selfish is the word that people like to throw around a lot, but in this case of these folks, I think they were objectively selfish. I can't think of any other word I can honestly describe them with. So, I fell out with my best friend last summer. To make a long story short, we went road tripping together, and she had no concern whatsoever for all the hard work I was doing driving us around safely. She was just pissed that the vacation wasn't as fun as she had imagined, and resentful that she had to help navigate the GPS because she felt like she shouldn't have to spend the whole trip looking at her phone. After that whole debacle, I was really eager to go out and make new friends. I knew it would be difficult because it's always been hard to find people who are willing to hang out with me. I knew that developing another best friend would not be easy, but my expectations were super low. I met a few people at events who I thought I had a rapport with, but after I tried to reach out to them via text, they all ghosted. Eventually, I met a woman at a party who I really hit it off with. We totally clicked. We were like best friends almost instantly. She's 45 and I'm 30. but the age difference felt invisible. Over the past 4 months, we were texting and talking on the phone almost every day. In October, we made plans to hang out, but I had to cancel because my cat had a medical emergency. He needed to get his stomach cut open, and it required me to provide constant intensive care for the next few weeks. Then, when I went back to visit my family in California for the holiday seasons, we continued to keep in touch. In California, my cat healed from his surgery, and I told her I'd love to get together once I was back in town. She told me of a dinner party she was throwing on a Saturday, and I told her I couldn't wait to come. On the way from the airport, my cat had yet another medical emergency. He developed a serious allergy attack on the taxicab and had been struggling to breathe ever since. He had to get oxygen therapy at the vet, and I've had to monitor him very carefully to make sure he stays alive while I'm waiting for his new oxygen kit to arrive in the mail. If his breathing starts to get out of control, I will have to rush him to the vet's office once again for more oxygen treatment. I explained to her that I couldn't come over for dinner because she lives over 2 hours away from me, and I can't leave my cat alone for that long while he's having these respiratory difficulties. Her response was that she would no longer make plans to hang out with me again because my cat has chronic health problems and more emergencies are inevitable. So she doesn't want to be canceled on in the future. She said that it was disingenuous of me to say yes to hanging out with her when I know my cat has health problems that could come up. I explained that these were both medical emergency situations unrelated to each other, that I had no way of predicting those in advance. She expressed that I am too self-involved and too preoccupied with my cat to have any considerations for other people's and their plans. According to her, my cat nearly dying is a good reason to cancel, but people always have good reasons, and maybe you were never actually free to begin with. I told her that it was very unreasonable to ask me to place her dinner plans over my deathly ill cat. And I'd ask her how she would feel if she was the one who had health problems, and her friends announced that they would no longer make plans to hang out with her because she might have a medical emergency and not be able to attend. She said, "How dare you compare me with an animal? That's disgusting and defensive. That's disgusting and offensive, and never do it again." These are just two of my most recent examples, but almost every friend I have ever had has made something like this. Why? What is wrong with me? Why don't decent people ever want to spend any time with me? And that's the end. Redditor, thank you so much for posting this, and I appreciate the detail that you have posted. It feels very fair. It's not just one-sided. Essentially, I hear you saying that these people are selfish, especially the detail of the second story of the cat, and I hope that your cat is okay and everything. But what I brought this story up, I picked the story up because I thought it was so interesting about the detail that you have put out here for the other person's point of view. And this whole podcast episode is about attracting people who reflect us. Attracting people who reflect us or reflect some kind of belief about who we are and how we show up in the world. And this story just nails it. Just nails it. The first one about your friend being selfish because they want to pay attention to their phone and not talk to you, that doesn't feel really great. I can see that. That doesn't really feel really great. It feels like you're being rejected. Essentially, you did all this work to create this trip, and there's not too much detail about it, but all they want to do is watch on the phone, look at their phone. They don't really want to engage with you, and that's what road trips are for, in my humble opinion. And that's probably what you hope to get from it, is engagement and conversation and more connection. So you left that person behind. Good, gone. Left them behind because you're looking for something that's more important, people who are interested in you. So the second one, though, is what really intrigued me about the cat and the story about how there's rejection at play. This is my analysis of it. There's rejection at play where essentially your 45-year-old friend wants to connect with you and they feel completely rejected, and you're frustrated that they're feeling rejected. This is my analysis again, person outside looking in. It seems like you're frustrated that they're feeling rejected, and they're just like, they're supposed to wait for you as long as need be because you have an emergency. And you can tell them with the best intentions that you were going to connect with them, you were going to be there, you're going to show up for them, but you expect them not to be upset when you can't show up. Even though you have a really great reason, it sounds like you expect them not to express that. Like, don't get mad at me because I can't control the situation. They can't control the situation either. They can't control the fact that they're there. They really wanted you to be there, and you're not going to be there for them. You're not going to connect with them, and they're disappointed, and they have to go through that frustration and sadness and loneliness, disappointment or whatever they're feeling on their side. And you're wondering why. This is what you always attract: selfish people. I'm having a bit of difficulty understanding what you would expect from someone. Well, no, I'm not. I'm not having difficulty with it. I just don't like it. I think that's what's happening with me personally. I'm like, they're selfish. They clearly explain how they understood your experience, but you don't like that. What you really wanted them to do was say, yeah, it's okay. You can break my heart as many times as possible. I will just invite you to the next one, and I just will hope and pray that you'll come. I hope and pray that things will be great for you and your cat and that you'll come. I'll make sure that I make food and make plans based on you and expect you to be there. And when I put all this effort into making this food and making these plans to be with you, and you don't show up, when I choose you over everybody else in my life and you don't show up, I'm just going to smile at you and invite you next time. This person who is 45 years old doesn't have time for that. This person who's here is talking to you right now, who is 40 years old, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Besides which, your cat has all of your attention and all your focus, just as this 45-year-old person had pointed out. Like, they need you. They need you, and you want to be there for them, and everybody else be damned. I would say that is pretty selfish. Now, I like the word I like selfish. I like when people are selfish. Be selfish. Be selfish all you want. But I think that you are also this thing that you don't want other people to be. You are not thinking about their feelings and what has happened with them, but you expect them to think about you and your feelings and how much effort you have to put into saving your cat. Well, she doesn't have no obligation to your cat. She doesn't have that. You have the obligation, and everybody else be damned. Everybody else be damned. This is important to you. Be selfish. Go with it. Rah, rah, rah. And just notice that there's impacts for other people. You've made your decision. You've made your choice, and you've chosen the best to your abilities. You've chosen what feels good to you. You've chosen what feels like it's right. Good. Kudos. Do that. I just want you to recognize that everybody doesn't feel the same way, and your actions have consequences. They have impacts. They do hurt people. They do excite people. They make people angry. They make them afraid. They make people sad. Whatever it is that you've chosen to do for yourself, people are going to respond in the way that they respond. And because they respond in the way they respond, it may feel selfish to you, but didn't you make a selfish choice? The selfishness is choosing things that support you or that are in your best interest. Everybody should do that. Do it. You did it for your cat, and now this 45-year-old person is doing it for themselves. I hope that you can see that your actions and behaviors are the same, in the sense that you've chosen the thing that is best for you, and they have chosen what was best for them. These choices that you're making, where you say people are selfish, you're maybe pouring into them and not giving you what you want. I think the 45-year-old did the same. They poured into you, hoping to have you for dinner, and you not being able to show up probably many more times than what was expressed here. And they were just like, I can't take the heartbreak. I can't take that pain. I'm just going to stop. And I'm going to tell you. They told you. They didn't just ghost you. They told you. I think that's pretty dope with them. I also think that it's an opportunity for you to learn from this experience, for you to recognize that you are also selfish. Being selfish is not a bad thing. You're attracting people who do things in their own best interest, and what happens is that their best interest does not align with your best interest. Good friendships, strong friendships, lasting friendships are based in those who do act selfishly, but the benefits of their selfish act, they align, they cross over. They both have something in mind that supports each other. They both have values that support each other. And so that's what's really missing here. So what are some of those things that are important to you that should be important to your friends as well? And then they would respond in the same way. Like, for example, if your cat was in your friend's life, like you had a friend and somehow, let's just say they've known the cat forever and they had just as much emotional attachment, they'd be willing to behave the same way if they noticed that there was a medical emergency, and they'd be like, woo, dinner party be damned, I'll be right over. They would behave the same way. They'd be acting selfish. They'd be acting in their own best interest because they care about the cat, they care about you. And you are acting selfishly because you care about the cat too. I hope this makes sense to you. But people act selfishly. They act in their own best interest. And the friendships and the relationships work when those values or those selfish interests align. They intersect. They overlap. Redditor, thank you so much for asking your question. I know that you didn't ask me to answer it, but I did, and I hope that it helps. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.